Let's say I ask ChatGPT to help me build a fitness app. It gives me a list of steps, helpful for sure, but I still have to do all the work myself. Now imagine an AI agent. I give the same prompt, but instead of just telling me what to do, it actually does it for me. It starts thinking, searches the web, generates a logo, builds a prototype, writes the code, and finally creates a working app, all without me lifting a finger. Sounds powerful, right? Well, in this video, I will break down exactly what AI agents are, how they work, and how you can start building one, even if you are not a developer. So stick around, because by the end of this, you will know more than 99% of the people out there. Okay, so let's break this down. What exactly is an AI agent? You just saw it in the action. I gave it a single prompt and it did not stop at giving me a to-do list. It actually did the work. That's the difference. A tool like ChatGPT or any LLM model gives you suggestion or any text-based answer because they are generative models. They can generate answers in any human readable language like English. But an agent goes beyond that. It takes a real action. Agent also takes the same prompt, but rather than directly generating a text-based answer, it thinks about the task. It figures out internally what needs to be done, it divides it into smaller tasks, and then it uses the different tools like Google search, code interpreter, image generators, whatever we have provided while creating the agent, and then calls those tools. So for example, if we use ChatGPT or any other LLM, it gives us a list of steps that we need to execute by ourselves. And if we provide the output of each steps, then it gives us the next step or direction. While an agent does it with tools. So it decides first which tool to call, then it calls that tool, for example generating an image. Then it takes the output of that tool and executes the next step. Likewise, it actually completes the entire task and then returns a single output. So if your agent has more access to data, information, if you have written clear instruction, and most importantly, if you have provided more tools, your agent is more capable. It's like having a virtual assistant that is not just smart but actually capable. It can plan, decide and execute all on its own. And the best part, it does not follow a fixed script. It adapts, it reasons, it tries things, and if something does not work, it tries another path, just like a human would do. So how does an AI agent actually work? Let's break it down into parts. So the first one is the brain, the LLM. This is the core engine, a large language model like GPT. It does all the thinking, understanding your request, planning the steps, deciding what needs to be done. Sometimes people prefer reasoning models for this because they can think for longer and think better to get the good results. Second one is memory, storing and recalling the information. Just like how we refer back to past notes or documents, agent use memory to retrieve the relevant information like previous chats, documents or saved contacts. Third one is tools, taking an action. As I mentioned earlier as well, this is the most important part of your agent. Tools are what let the agent do things in the real world. These tools act like its hands. So if you want your agent to send an email in Gmail, create a tool called Send Email and provide it to the agent. Now whenever the agent needs to send an email in Gmail, it calls that tool. Now what should be the subject, whom to send the email to, what should be the properly formatted content, whether to attach a file or not. The agent decides that at the runtime based on the prompt. Similarly, you can create more tools like creating a draft reply, sending an email from Outlook. It can be anything. If you want your agent to generate an image, pass the tool for image generation. If you want your agent to upload a photo on Instagram, create a tool called Create Post on Instagram and pass it to the agent. Same way, if you want your agent to reply to any message in WhatsApp or Facebook, again create a tool and pass it to that. So in short, the more tools your agent has, the more capable it is. Now when to call a particular tool and with what data, agent decides that for you. So I hope it's now clear. ChatGPT or any LLM can generate a text-based email content. You still have to copy-paste and manually compose the email, but your agent actually sends the email using the Send Email tool. Now the fourth one is the Orchestrator, managing the flow. This is what ties everything together. It makes the agent dynamic, not just by following the fixed step, but deciding what to do based on the previous step result. It loops through think, plan, act, observe until the goal is reached.